Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog of day. And today is Thursday the 10th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly decent time frame, got up and around, headed outside, jumped in the hot tub for a little bit. Wife got up and got off to work and chilled out for the morning. Had a couple things going on, not too much. I had 3 different dogs getting dropped off today, or 2 different dogs getting dropped off at meet and greet. Had to schedule out and had to organize all of it. So I got the morning started, got my first little cigar going, and before I even lit it up, I decided some other stuff I wanted to get done before the dogs and all got here and all that good fun stuff. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna get that over with so I can get it taken care of instead. So I skipped my cigar, getting a bunch of other things wrapped up and all the good fun stuff that needs to be done here around the house. So had a meet and greet scheduled for 9, had a dog drop off that was supposed to be also dropped off about 9, but she's never on time, but she's always communicative with her time frame in that. So then I also had a dog I had to go pick up in Port Orange, so I was like, okay, it's all good. And the meet and greet, she reached out a little early and said, hey, we're about 20 minutes out, we're gonna head your way, which I guess they live close, so you actually walked over, which was smart on her part to wear the dog out because the dog is super high energy, but we'll get to that in a second. So went ahead and I reached out to the owners of the dogs I'm picking up, and I actually reached out to the dog that's gonna get dropped off. It's that weird time frame of the gap. And I'm like, hey, is there any chance of dropping off maybe a little bit later? Because originally you're supposed to drop off at this time, you'd already pushed it back to this, so on and so forth. And she goes, actually, I was gonna talk to you about that. I woke up with a massive migraine. She has like a massive headache and couldn't even turn her computer on yet. So still had work to do. She had to get done before she could even start her day. I wanted to know if she could push the drop off back a little bit. And I said, that's fine. I'm like, I'm gonna run up to Port Orange anyway to get a dog. So how about we just plan on, I will let you know when I'm back home or almost home. That way you can head over when you want to. Just know I need you here before 1 o'clock. That's absolute latest you can have the dog, because I have to go meet with my wife and at the hospital. We're doing some more tests because they saw something, thought it might be cancer, blah, 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 whatever. So I gotta go to that. She goes, not a problem. I'll be there by then. I was hoping she'd get here earlier because I got a dog that I've watched before, but he's high energy and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, cool. Because he's supposed to be here like 9. So everything's good to go. They got here for the meet and greet. She texted, she's out front, and I'm like, I don't think so, because I looked out, I didn't see him in the driveway, and I see somebody walking up with their dog. And I'm like, super smart. So I got to meet her and the dog. I've met her before. She has 2 other dogs I watch a few times. But this dog is a puppy still, and they had some friends asked us, so did they not get along with the other 2? She was not get along great. It's just we had some friends who their golden retriever had recently passed away. And they basically would beg us to watch this dog any chance they could get because they miss their dog and they want to play with the puppy. And I'm like, oh, understandable. Completely understandable, especially if you don't have to maintain the puppy full time. You can just chill out with the puppy, randomly. That's absolutely perfect. And she said, but they just had a brand new baby and they're having a lot more of that baby activities that need to be done that they don't want to mess with the dog this time. I'm like, also completely understandable. So as long as I was get along good. And she goes, yeah. So, but the dog is, her exact words were, when you meet her and stuff, thank God she's pretty, because she is a bit of a handful, and a bit of a handful in a good way. She works out fine. She'll be fine, but she is not the smartest dog by any means, and she is not the calmest dog at all by any means, but she'll be fine. So just that dumb, beautiful golden retriever, brains don't turn on until about 2. They are literally just, they don't have the ability to have brains. It's so great. It's so funny. So, but yeah, I got there, met her. She's scared of everything and nervous and skittish and kind of gonna be a pain in the ass, but also doesn't always come when you call her. One of those things. So we're gonna work on some training while she's here. I told them a couple tips of the ways I do it, and she found that to be a brilliant idea. So hopefully she'll start that training the next couple weeks before they get here, which will work great. So they had picked up their dogs last trip, and their daughter came along, and we'd had a fairly way deeper conversation than I've ever had with a kid before in my life, and probably 95% deeper conversation, or probably deeper conversation with 95% of the adults I've ever talked to in my life. Like, this kid is like just super, like, just smart. And I talked to the mom about it again. So I even texted her today, and I'm like, hey, not for nothing, but talk to your husband, your daughter, and your daughter is awesome. Like, she's so, like, it's going to be a handful, like, I can tell. Like, she's got a different mindset, and she's very, So we talked about some of the problems that she's going to struggle with because of the way she thinks and the intelligence she has and the struggles she'll have. And I told her about that. The girl reminds me a lot of me, and some of the things that helped me that I learned once I got older. Nobody worked with me early on, and then I had to kind of learn these for myself. So I said, try these. Might not help, but it might help. So yeah, it made me really sad afterwards after talking to her with the different stuff her and her husband are putting into this kid, and how I thought how much different my life would look if I had that guidance of two parents in the same house and helping guide in this scenario of where I was going with my weird, crazy brain. So it is what it is. So yeah, we had a great conversation. She goes, my daughter still talks about your guys' conversation. I'm like, dude, have your daughter come by. We'll grab a whiskey and a cigar, and we'll have some deep conversations. Mom laughed, and she's like, hell yeah. She goes, that'd be great. So, but yeah, we had a great conversation. Dog's gonna be fine. She headed out. I'd reached out to the owner. I'm picking up the dog, and said, hey, I'm done with my stuff early. Can I come get your dog? She said 100%. I said, I'll be up there in about 40 minutes or so, and I'll give you a heads up 5-10 minutes out with my ETA. And it sounds perfect. So we did that. Got rid of the meet and greet, jumped in the car, grabbed myself a cigar, a bottle of water, and headed up north. Got close, texted him, said, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm 5 minutes out. Got there. There is a Lexus LAF, which in the garage, which is right now probably $1 million car. Like, they're $950,000 listed for sale pretty much anywhere. Like, you see them for sale, if you see them for sale. So absolutely gorgeous car. And I asked the guy about it, and he goes, not mine. So I'm not sure whose car it is. I'm not sure whose house they're staying at. I'm not sure what, but definitely not his car. But he also might have said that because he thinks that I'm going to expect a bigger tip. I don't know. So, but yeah, we had a nice little chat. Got the dog all situated, and their dog does not like car rides very well at all, which I had thought about offering to pick up their dogs. I know she lives up north somewhere up here too. I don't know exactly where, but I'm glad I did not, because once the two got together, they got way too rambunctious, and that would have not worked well inside the car trying to drive home. So got back to the house, texted and said, hey, I'm gonna be home in 10 minutes, whatever. She said, okay, I'll let you know. And then she showed up at like 12:35, 12:40. I got to leave by 1. And I was like, God damn it. Because I really wanted the dogs to have more time together to play in Rough House and wear each other out. But it is what it is. Dogs got along fine. Little bit of issue off jump, but got him to run around, got him to play some, put him up. The lab has been here since I went and picked up. He goes in a crate when they leave the house. And they found he gets in trouble sometimes, so it's easier for them to crate him. So went ahead and put him in the crate, left Bistro out. So I set him in the bedroom, put their dog in the crate in the office, and left them. So there's 2 separate doors and 1 crate separating them in case something would happen. So headed on out, went up to work, took the motorcycle up to meet my wife, and then jumped in her car. We headed over to the hospital. Get there, have to get all signed in and shit. I gotta present ID and stuff now because some old lady shot her husband out of a mercy killing a while back here in Florida, and that day on they've been requiring me to show my ID and get a little sticker of a picture that's so shitty nobody can tell nothing. So dumb as hell. But yeah, it needs to have like more of a change colors or a big giant date on it, because I could have easily brought this sticker in from anywhere, but they only have them at certain doors. Like, those other doors are open, you just walk in. It's a big old fake facade of we're keeping you safe when it doesn't do a goddamn thing. But that's the world we live in now in the United States. Is everything is about fake belief of safety, not about actual safety. So not getting into that too much. But anyway, got that all checked in, got my sticker on my shirt. Wife headed back and met with the people that are doing all the testing, and we sat there for a while. And of course, they're late getting on to us, but they make appointments. We're late, we get charged. If they're late, shut up and just deal with it. So again, our medical system is fucked up. They don't care about our people. They only care about the money, and insurance controls everything you do. So it is what is there. So they call her finally. We head up, and I get to the door, to go back with her. And the lady very just condescendingly goes, this is a woman's only mammogram area. And I'm like, what? She goes, you can't come back. I go, okay. I wanted to scream, fuck you for misidentifying me. Like, how dare you identify my gender? But I didn't look to Karen. I'm like, what? And she goes, well, he wanted to come back for moral support. And she goes, if he's needed, we'll come get him. Karen's like, well, I fucking kind of need him. I'm like, whatever. So she is back. So I try and text her, like, hey, sorry, people suck here. And of course, the way the hospital is set up, no cell service at all. Building's way too full of electrical crap. Said no emails, no fucking text messages, no nothing goes out. She even tried to message me on Messenger. She got back there and said, hey, I kind of wanted him for moral support because they told me this good chance this could be cancer, and I kind of want to fucking have him here, you know. And she goes, well, if it's something bad, we'll go get him before the doctor comes in and sees you. Which I'm like, oh, that's kind of fucked up, whatever. So I'm sitting out there like, bullshit. So she's back there for however long she's back there for. They take a couple more tests, they take more pictures, and yada yada. And then the lady comes in and basically says, the doctor looked at your pictures and he says it's some bullshit, whatever, yada yada. It's not bad. We want to see you back in 6 months and see if it changes. So basically it's like, what we see here we don't think is cancer, but it might become cancer, so come look in 6 months. And I'm like, whatever. But part of the problem is, you just told my wife that if it was something they want to talk to me about or talk to her about, they'd come get me. Which I told my wife as we left. I'm like, that's not bullshit, because next time we go, if they do decide to bring me in, the moment you see the door open and it's me, you're now going to assume it's the worst news possible, which is maybe not the case. But because they didn't bring it back for the, it's no news right now, we don't know what the hell this is, because they didn't bring it back for that, now it becomes a situation. Same as way back when we paid to have these super expensive, fancy scans done, well, back my wife wanted them done, and the health scans, which hit $1,000. I said, my only stipulation is, if you want me done also, that's fine. One stipulation, you're not allowed to tell me the results. And she's like, absolutely, I agree to that completely. Paid all the money, spent all the cash, got all this cash dumped out there to make her happy, get the results back, and then she keeps telling me she wants to tell me. I said, I don't want to fucking hear it. Like, because if I'm going to die in 6 weeks or 6 hours or 60 years, I don't want to know either way. I really don't. I've never wanted to know. If you could tell me the exact day, and it's like there is a magic genie or there is a God that comes down and says, 100% truth, these are the things I can prove that I am all powerful and unknowing, and you're going to die on April 3rd, 2029, whatever, cool, tell me that. But if it's like, I believe you're going to die April 23rd, 2029, I don't want to hear it. So, yeah. Or I think you're going to get cancer in July. Like, I don't want to hear that either. So anyway, so she could not resist telling me, because mine was like flawless, like, which actually pissed me off, because one, I don't want to live that long. Like, I didn't plan on having this body this long, and I would have taken better care of it, but it is what it is. So I said also, now they come into the situation of, next time if you feel you need to do this test again, and you want me to do the test again also to make yourself feel happy, we pay all that money. Damn, that little Lexus there actually sounded like kind of a good exhaust on. That was kind of weird sounding. Did not expect that from a little tiny blonde girl driving that Lexus. But yeah, that was a Lexus I did not recognize at all. Anyway, went ahead, so I said, next time we have that scan done, and for some reason you choose not to tell me, now I gotta decide, is it because it's also excellent, or is it because I'm gonna die in 6 weeks? So you've ruined everything I said I didn't want you to do. That's why you want to spend the money. So most likely what's gonna happen is, at this point, since she couldn't keep her word on that, I will just refuse to ever take that test again, which means we'll never know from this point on. So yeah. And that's what they happened here with this bullshit with the doctor is they didn't present it properly, because you should treat it same as playing poker. You make the same face every single hand, where you're bluffing or where you got the nuts, because that way you can always let people know what the actual results are and they don't over stress and freak out because you're now doing shit differently. But it is what it is. We head back out, take her back to work, drop her off. I actually wanted to get ice cream or anything to celebrate. She said no, we'll take her back to work. She apologized greatly, because literally I moved everything around for the day, which is not a big deal. Do it all the time for her father, taking him back and forth to the doctor, so it's not a big deal to do that for her. But for absolutely nothing, literally for absolutely nothing, to sit in a lobby of a hospital, get my picture taken, and then have nothing I can do for her. I could at least stay out in the car. I could have stayed home, like all this shit. But nobody told her, because we're in a world of nobody communicates, nobody cares about our healthcare system. It's a fucked up money making, like, just grinding wheel that nobody gives a shit about. So yeah, definitely don't give a shit about the patients. That's for damn sure. So yeah, that's where we're at on it. So get back to drop her off work. I jump on the motorcycle, I head home. Everything's good to go. Hang out with the dogs, let them back out, let them play again. Everybody's having a grand old time and just having all the fun they can have. I then went ahead, went and got my run in, got back, ended up doing up some salmon and rice for dinner. Wife got home from work, got back from my run, jumped in the shower, had a wonderful meal, headed back outside, let the dogs play, had myself a little cigar, and she ended up heading to bed. I came in a little later than I normal like what I used to be, but the last couple weeks I've been going to bed fairly early. So came back in, watched a little bit of Blue Bloods because she's going back to sleep. She literally rolled over and went back to sleep. Didn't even attempt to stay awake. So grabbed myself some Doritos and had myself a little snack, wrapped it up and called it a day. So that's all I got for now, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.